Today we are doing the
Top 10 Gay Films.
Let's get started. Number 1. That's not how it works. Number 10 is a French-Canadian film called c.r.a.z.y. Technically it's c.r.a.z.y. I'm not sure why. I have no idea what that could stand for. But it's a really good film. It's mostly about family. The main character in the film is played by an actor named Marc-Andre Grauman, if I'm saying it right. And he's really, really, really hot. Check out that package again. He's the one in the middle there. Very hot. It's a really good film. It's got a really cool vibe. It takes place mostly in the 70s and 80s, so there's lots of really good music in it. The only downside of the film is there's not like a really hot sex scene. They kind of brush over those. There's not even an on-screen kiss. So it loses a lot of points in that regard, unfortunately. Regardless, it's a really great film. It has a lot to do with what coming out might have been like a couple decades ago, and it's definitely worth checking out. Number 9 is a film called Get Real. It's a British film. It's a very classic story. It's been done a million times before. A guy in high school struggling with his sexuality. The popular jock of the high school just happens to be gay himself. It's a formula that really works, though, and it's really enjoyable to watch. This is a British film, and it reminds me very much of another film called Beautiful Thing. Really, if I could cheat and I could have 2 number 9s, Beautiful Thing and Get Real would both be there. I like Get Real a little bit more, though, because it has more realism to it. A little bit more comedy, a little bit more depth than Beautiful Thing does. The ending in particular is really good. It's a very powerful scene toward the end. Unfortunately, this DVD is pretty hard to find in the United States, but if you look around, you might be able to find it, even by some illicit means. Number 8 is a film I love. I absolutely love this movie. If I had done my list by the amount of times I've watched each film, this would be number 1. But it's not. It's Hedwig and the Angry Inch. I'm sure most of you have heard of it. If not, you have to see it. It's brilliant. The best thing about it by far is the music, and that's what makes me watch it again and again and again and again. The music's brilliant. Another thing I like about it is it's written, directed, and starring John Cameron Mitchell, who is openly gay. Now the music, which is the highlight, the absolute star of the film, are the songs. They are written by Stephen Trask, who is also openly gay. So out of all the movies that are on this list, it is by far the gayest movie when it comes to who created it and who was behind it, which is also really exciting. The plot of the movie, it's good, it's okay, but it's just so in the background compared to the songs. Like I said, the songs are the real star of the movie. Once you hear them, they'll stick in your head, you'll dream about them, they'll haunt you until you keep watching them and listening to them over and over and over again. The funny thing is, even if you buy the soundtrack, you don't get the actual songs that are in the movie because you get similar versions, but for the movie they really filmed each song live. In my opinion, they have the most energy in the movie, so if you want the best version of these incredible songs, you have to get it. You have to get the movie. Definitely check it out, Hedwig and the Angry Inch. I love it. Number 7 is a film called Latter Days. This is a newer film from a couple years ago. It's about a very attractive but superficial gay man who doesn't have much going on in his life or in his head. He meets a Mormon man who is much more spiritual, much more thoughtful and sensitive, but of course he's burdened with guilt and all the other baggage that comes from being part of such a conservative religion. They come together and they have a lot to offer each other, but there's obviously a lot of obstacles in their way. Both lead actors are extremely hot. The sex scenes are great. They're very revealing without being trashy or pornographic, and they're quite extensive. So if you get this, definitely go for the unrated version. The relationship is tested, and it's really a testament to the endurance of love. It's a wonderful movie. Number 6 is a very different film. It's a very painful film, really. It's called Mysterious Skin, and it stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt. The premise of the film is the story of 2 boys who are molested by their Little League coach. Now, the film is very, very brave because one of the boys, even at 8 years old, identifies himself as being gay and has a crush on the coach. It's kind of a love at first sight thing. It's so common in Hollywood films that you have a little boy that has a crush on his female English teacher or something like that. And that they decide to do this between the boy and the coach was very brave. And in fact, the gay character spends a lot of his teenage years and his adult life trying to find someone like that coach because it was one of the few times in his life that he really felt loved. Now, the film does not condone child molestation, obviously. The other boy had a terrible experience, and it traumatized him for life. And even the main gay character that feels he loved the coach has a very destructive life. The film does come together at the end and makes the point very clearly that both of their lives were ruined by this experience in their childhood. But regardless, there's a lot of depth to this film. It's very hard for some people to watch. It's very original, and it gives you a lot to think about. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is not only extremely handsome, but he's a very talented actor, and he really brings a lot to the film. Mysterious Skin, check it out. For the remaining 5, please check out part 2 of the top 10 gay films.